Yes. So we will all contribute.
Yes, and we have people now from Belgium, from Turkey, and Lisa is at the airport. Adel, where are you joining us from?
I'm still in the car. Please 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the power of international network of a big organization. So we have people from everywhere.
Hi, Pascal.
Good evening, everybody. Hello.
Hello, Linda.
Do we have anybody from the US?
Not yet. We're going to see people are joining in. We're going to ask them to put in the chat in 2 minutes where they are joining us from, so we know.
Okay.
So,
because usually this time zone is also useful for accessible for the US. So it's interesting if we can.
Definitely. Hi, Nisreen.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good. Sorry, I still need 5 minutes to reach home.
It's okay.
How are you? I'm fine. How are you?
We're all great.
How was the summer?
Excellent. Hot as usual. Extremely hot and sexy. Very hot. It's unbelievable.
That's nice. Yeah, look, come back to work, come back to the normal activities and everything.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the first day for me. I just came yesterday.
Welcome back to Cyprus.
Yes, I was out of everything. So today is the first day I do something related to coaching.
Bravo, welcome. Hi, Christiana. Hi, Nikita. Hi, Amani.
Hi, Pauline.
Hello.
Hello.
So, guys, if you want, you can put for us in the chat, where are you joining us from?
Aha. So we have.
Yes, from Canada.
We have America.
Yes.
Yes.
Saudi. Hi, Christiana.
So we're going overseas.
Yes.
Broadcasted over the ocean.
Definitely. Hi, Priscilla.
Welcome, everybody.
Definitely. So everyone who's joining, welcome. We would love to see where you're joining us from, so you can drop in the chat where you are joining us from.
And also, it would be good if you put in the chat if you have any current credential ICF certification, ACC, PCC, or MCC, just for us to know. Or if you don't currently have it, or probably you're just planning to, so you can just put it that you're planning to apply. Okay, I see PCC, PCC, ACC in process. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Christina, Shaima. If you can open your cameras, we would highly appreciate seeing your lovely faces. Welcome, everyone. So put in your chat, where are you joining us from? Also, if you have any ICF credentials, if you're in the process, if you're at PCC, MCC, ACC. Excellent.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it
Okay.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna start afterwards. So let's give it 2 minutes. So we give people the chance to join, and then I'll introduce, and then we can start. We're very happy to
Good.
have all of you here with us. Happy to see some familiar faces from across the borders.
This is a historic ICF Cyprus first online training event.
Yes, yes,
You're part of history.
definitely. So welcome everybody. If you want, you can write next to your name if you have an ICF credential, PCC, ACC, or MCC. And if you are in progress, in the process of doing that, you can say in process as well. So welcome everyone. Excellent. So people are preparing.
Okay, I think we can start, Pauline. We have the forum.
50%. We have 50%, which is good. So I would like to officially welcome you to the first online ICF Cyprus chapter webinar. We have people joining from all over the world, as you can see in the chat. This is our first ever webinar that we do in Cyprus. Our chapter is, we just celebrated 1 year. So we're new, but we have big dreams and big action plans to do. So we're really excited for this. You can follow our social media to stay tuned for our upcoming webinars. We will be having upcoming webinars, and we will put them as well on ICF Global. And today we have a special guest here who is president of ICF Cyprus chapter, Yury. So Yury Zachek is the founder and CEO of consulting company YZ Global. He is an MCC ICF. He's a leadership and executive coach. And as I mentioned, he's the president of the ICF in Cyprus. And he is an ex-Deloitte and Accenture. And we're gonna be talking about a very important topic that Yury is gonna introduce to us. Feel free to put your questions in the chat box, and we will be answering them in the end, Yury, right? Or you want to, how do you want it? It's up to you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Pauline.
Yeah, okay.
So let me share my screen and
You can.
and tell me if you can see it.
Yes, we can.
Works.
All
Okay.
set.
Perfect.
And the floor is yours, Yury.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. So welcome everybody. It's great to see you. So let me turn on the chat. Just a moment. Okay. So I suggest that we spend the first hour or so on the topic, because I have some slides for you and also some exercises. And the next 4 hours we spend on Q&A. So that was a joke. So I think we'll have a Q&A for 30 minutes. So we planned this event for an hour and a half. So I think let's aim for that. But if you have if you have questions, if you want to discuss, so I'm happy to stay online and answer the questions, because there might be quite a few. Okay. So okay, so our topic today is coaching presence and mindfulness. And apparently coaching presence is one of the ICF competences, competence 5. But why mindfulness? So during our event today, we'll find out why I put these things together. Because my trip, this my way in coaching, my travel in coaching, it just showed to me that mindfulness is basically the root of coaching. It's the base of coaching. Just a couple of words about myself. I was not born a coach, as probably most of you. So we're becoming coaches at some point of time because this is our calling. And my first background is legal. I used to work as a lawyer for 17 years for some major international companies like Deloitte, Accenture. But for the last 7.5 years, I've been doing only coaching. So coaching is my main profession now. It's my business. It's my passion. It's my hobby. It's my work. It's everything. So because basically we've got a very good job. We are developing ourselves and we're getting paid for that. So we're developing ourselves and we're helping our clients to grow and develop, and we're paid for that. This is an amazing job. Actually, some of my clients told me that they feel envious because it's amazing doing what you love and actually being able to do it for living. So as I said, I started professional coaching 7.5 years ago. So now I have around 3,700 hours of sessions, which, as all of you know, is a lot. So I would like to start, as a lawyer, I would like to start with with basic terms. So we need to put a frame to what we're going to be discussing today. And if we look at the definition of competence 5, the coach maintains presence. So what does it mean? The ICF says that the coach is fully conscious and present with the client, employing a style that is open, flexible, grounded, and confident. And actually here we see that this competence is about the coach. It's all about the coach. So the coach is conscious, the coach is present, coach is open, flexible, grounded, confident. So basically this definition shows us that it's very important in which state we are as coaches. So if we look at what competence 5 consists of, so we see that ICF defines it like remains focused, observant, empathetic, and responsive to the client. Please note here the words focused, observant. These are, and we'll speak about that later. So this is the ground, the base of everything. And by the way, Pauline, sorry, there's just one important question that we didn't address, is that everybody needs to stay till the end in order to get the CCEs and the certificate. I don't remember if you mentioned that, but
yes, definitely.
ICF is very strict about that. Yes, so they will ask us to log out the Zoom attendance and to send to them. So please, if you're here to also get CCEs, this is very important. Okay, sorry about this short admin issue. Okay, so the second thing is demonstrates curiosity during the coaching process. So curiosity here is the key. Curiosity is the, as we'll discuss later, curiosity is the base of mindfulness practices. It's the base of knowing thyself. Manages one's emotions to stay present with the client. So this is about our emotional intelligence. This is about being not overwhelmed by emotions. This is about being able to stay stable no matter what happens with you or your client. Demonstrates confidence in working with strong client emotions during the coaching process. Please put in the chat plus. Can you put plus if you ever had a situation when something during a coaching session with your client really triggered you, so that you lost this sense of being present, that you became very emotional, or you thought that actually, oh my God, I had the same thing, like your heart starts beating, you start to be very anxious. Yes, I see pluses. Yes. So this is basically, as we all know, this is basically one of the biggest problems in the coaching profession, in the coaching session, when you can't actually see the situation or the client absolutely free of emotions, free of connecting to this situation. So 5 is comfortable working in a space of not knowing, and we'll discuss all of this later in detail. So this is just the full list now. Is comfortable working in a space of not knowing. And finally 6, creates or allows space for silence, pause, or reflection. So basically, this is competence 5. So if you look at this, it doesn't seem very difficult, right? But in fact, we all know that it is. And we'll see why. So let's look at these 2 markers first. Demonstrates curiosity during the coaching process and is comfortable working in a space of not knowing. So I'm actually in coaching partly because of my curiosity. Because I'm really genuinely interested in how things work, how I work, how my emotions work, how my thoughts work, how my life works, my business. And also I'm genuinely interested in how it's working for my clients. So curiosity is the key. So we need to be really curious about what's going on in the life of our clients, how they operate, what's different from us, and what things are similar. And also, we need to be comfortable working in a space of not knowing. You know, when I worked with a mentor, and it was a mentor and also my coach, when preparing for MCC, there was one very important a very important thing that he told me. And it was a rather difficult period in my time and in my life, a rather difficult time in my life. And I remember asking him, so what do I do? I don't know what to do. And he told me, you're not supposed to know everything. So I told you that you're supposed to know it. And it was a big relief for me, you know, because when you think that it's okay that I don't know where my life is going, I don't know what's going to happen to me, I have no clue. And most people are really triggered by that. They really feel uncomfortable working and living in a space of not knowing. So we as coaches need to be able to live and work in the space of not knowing ourselves, so that to be able to teach our clients that, to bring that to them, to actually emphasize that it's okay. As human beings, we're not supposed to know things. It's normal. So, and here I would like to give you a metaphor and an image which actually, I think, shows how coaching works, how it's supposed to work. So, do you know this thing? Who knows this thing? Put it in the chat. What do you think this is? And by the way, there is a person down there. You see that there's a person on this slide at the bottom, small person. Okay, there's nothing in the chat. Okay, so interesting. Nobody knows. Okay, maybe it's better now. Maybe you know what it is now. And again, there's a person there at the bottom. Yes. So, Christus, yes, this is actually the collider. Yes, this is the Large Hadron Collider. So on the border of Switzerland and France, time travel machine. Yes, definitely. Who knows? So coaching is actually facing something unknown, you know? So we are looking at a very complicated machine in front of us, which is our client. And you can only look, you cannot touch. And you need to understand how this thing works only by asking questions. You see here, there are two people on the bridge. Okay, so, and one of these persons is you, the second one is your client. And the client owns this machine. So you can only ask questions, and a lot of questions about this machine. Oh, what is this? What it is, how it works? Oh, why are there so many wires? And what is this black thing for? And this silver thing, and this green thing, and you know what why are these wires? Some of them are blue, some of them are red. So why? What are these tubes for? You know, it's genuine interest how this shit works. So when we're working with our clients, this should be our first emotion. You know, I want to know how you work, how you operate. I'm really, really interested. I see that there are some similarities. Some of the things I know, but some of the things I don't know, and I don't have a clue how it works. And by the way, it's okay for me not to know how it works. I don't feel bad because I don't know how Collider works. That's okay for me. I'm not supposed to know. The truth is that clients sometimes also don't know how it works, you know? Because you ask them, okay, what is this black thing for? Why is it there? And they say, I don't know. I don't have a clue. So you both look at it with interest. So space of not knowing. It's perfectly okay. Okay, so next, the coach remains focused, observant, empathetic, and responsive to client. Creates or allows space for silence, pause, or reflection. So again, look here at the words silence, pause, or reflection, and also the word space. Space is a very interesting thing in coaching. When I was a young coach, and I bet all of you go through this stage, You actually try to fill space with something. Young coaches are actually afraid of silence and space, because it's hard to believe that the client actually pays you a lot of money for sitting there in silence. So coaches actually think that they must bring clients somewhere. And very often they want to drag client. If the client is not moving, they want to drag the client somewhere, because they think that they are evaluated by the client on actually this shift that is being made by client. But the truth is actually that clients pay us to sit down, reflect, and notice. You know, if you think about coaching, what actually happens during coaching sessions? And I work a lot with executives, I work a lot with entrepreneurs and C-level people. They never have time. They never have time to sit down, reflect, and notice things going on. So their schedule is like Tetris game, you know? So they don't have even 15 minutes of time. And the time costs a lot. So when they have this 1 hour where they can actually sit and reflect about their life, about their business, about their strategy, and do it not alone, but do it with professionals. So this is priceless, actually, and it costs a lot. So they're ready to pay for that. They're ready to pay for this time that they allocate, sometimes to stand still, just to breathe and reflect. So sometimes they sit in silence. So silence is okay. And if you listen to MCC sessions, and I urge you to listen to MCC sessions, you will notice that the more experienced the coach is, the more experienced the MCC is, the more space and silence is in the session. So you just allowing things to happen. Who's here with me? Does it resonate? Please put something in the chat. Just how much does it resonate? From 1 to 10? 9, 10. Thank you. Okay. 20. Okay, so observation actually is the cure. You know, here we can make a parallel to therapy, to psychotherapy. Because basically observation, when the client understands what's going on, is already the cure. In most cases, you don't need to do anything after that. Just pure noticing it remedies. So our task is for clients to notice, to start noticing, to actually start asking questions, to actually start being really curious about themselves, about what's going on in their mind, about this thing, you know? Sometimes when you show the client their inner world, they're so surprised. You know, when you actually show them how their emotions work, when you show them how their thoughts work, when you show them the connection between mind and body, The clients are so surprised, you know, these things which everybody should know, how our thoughts trigger emotions, how our emotions trigger bodily response. For most people, this is like rocket science, you know, and you show them these things and they start noticing. So this is our work. So when you are aware, when you notice what is happening with you, you are healing. So coaching is not about techniques. This is the understanding that I came to in this almost 8 years of coaching, and after becoming an MCC. So coaching is not about techniques, it's about space, silence, and time. So let things unfold in front of you. You just wait for things to unfold. And I remember when I was at ACC level, or probably I wasn't even an ACC. So, you know, these awkward moments when you don't know what to say. You don't know what to ask. Oh my God, there is silence. The client is lost. The coach is lost. Oh shit, what do I do? It's blocked, you know? At the MCC level, this is the biggest gift you can get from a client, you know? Because you can ask, okay, what's going on now? As simple as that. Looks like you're stuck. It looks like I'm stuck. Interesting. Why is that? Why do you think that is happening? What do you feel about that? How do you feel? What are you thinking now? Why are you smiling? So let things unfold in front of you. Just let it happen. It will eventually happen. Truth is that the more space you give the client, the more effective your session will be. The more you observe and the more you apparently ask questions about what you're observing, about what's happening, the more effective your question will be, the session will be. And also, I remember this, I don't know, please put in the chat, please put plus if you also did that during the session, you're writing questions that you want to ask a client. Oh, I need to ask this. Oh, I also need to ask this. Oh, this is a very good question. I need to put it down just not to forget. Oh my God, he's already saying something different, but I still want to ask this question. So coaching is actually more simple than that. Coaching is like ping pong. It's like tennis. If the client gives you the ball, you just send the ball immediately back. Client gives you the ball, you send it back. Client gives you the ball, you send it back. By the ball, I mean actually what the client is saying. The words. The client gives you some words. And apparently these words have some deep meaning. So just send it back. Oh, you just said this. Why did you say this? Oh, you said this. What does it mean? Oh, you said this. Okay, so send it back. Send the ball back. And see how it goes. And here it's very much connected with competence 7. Evokes awareness. The definition is facilitates client insight and learning by using tools and techniques such as powerful questions, silence, metaphor, or analogy. Notice silence here again. It's one of the tools. It's one of the techniques. Silence is one of the tools and techniques here, because it says tools and techniques such as. So silence and space can be a tool. Isn't it amazing? So competence 7 also says that challenges the client as a way to evoke awareness or insight, asks questions about the client, such as their way of thinking, values, needs, wants, and beliefs, and asks questions that help the client explore beyond current thinking. You know, the client is very often, in most of the cases, okay, always, people are always in their minds. They're always in their minds. Here, if we look again at this thing, the client actually lives inside. That's why the clients very often don't see how it works. They don't know how it works because it's very hard to see from inside. But you as a coach, you can see the whole thing. And you can also see, you can see from the outside, you know? Because here you see there is windows behind, there is a big building here, and there are windows behind it. And there is some, I think there is some blue sky behind these windows, you know? This is something that the client doesn't see because he's living in this mechanism, you know, in this hole. So he doesn't know what's happening outside of it very often, outside of this hangar, of this building. He doesn't see the sky, he doesn't see the stars, the sea, whatever. But you as a coach, you can help him seeing bigger things outside of his box. So here, there's a metaphor which very often is used in coaching, that basically the coach's role is to be a mirror, a talking mirror. The client is looking at the mirror, and the mirror asks him to take a closer look at some things. Oh, look at your right eye, look at your left eye, look on your right ear, your left ear, look on your chin, look at your nose, mouth, you know? So we actually need to make sure that the client stares, that the client's focus is on examining himself or herself. So we need to make sure that we help the client to see himself or herself. And we ask a lot of questions about, again, how things work. So, but what happens very often, and especially when it happens with coaches who are just starting in the profession, so we turn into, instead of a mirror, we turn into a TV. And you see this, there's a big difference in these coaching styles. Can you compare that? You know, you see the first one is the mirror. There's nothing else in this mirror except for the client. Well, there's obviously a mirror as well, and the mirror is talking. And the mirror also has some values and beliefs and whatever, yeah? So it's a tricky mirror. But in the second picture, it's just a TV. It's the coach telling the client something. It's very interesting for the client. Yes, everybody loves watching TV, you know? So the clients love it when coaches share, when coaches tell about their experience, when coaches teach, when the client, and a lot of clients not only accept that, they expect that, you know? And coaches do that because it's very interesting to talk, you know, very interesting to speak. But actually we need to stare, we need to be still. That's why it's called, our today's session is called presence, coaching presence and mindfulness. Because what I came to the realizing that basically coaching presence is mindfulness. So the coach just simply needs to be mindful and aware. So the coach needs to develop mindfulness. So how do we actually maintain presence? And here I would like to suggest an experiment now. It will be a very unusual one. You will remember it. And it will be very simple. But for some of you, it might be unbearable. And what we're going to do now is actually do nothing. So I will put a timer now for 5 minutes. And for the next 5 minutes, we will all do nothing, literally nothing. This is not a meditation. This is, I don't ask anything from you. And then we'll see how it goes and what happens. Okay, are you up for that? I see that some of you are not happy about that. Oh my God, what is it? Okay, let's try. Okay, 5 minutes. We're doing nothing. Okay. So how was it? Please share what was going on. Raise your hand. Turn on the microphones. Josh, yes, please.
I think for me, I noticed sounds first that I was not paying attention to at all. So I could hear cars driving by. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I live on a street where cars drive by. So I first noticed sounds in my house. Oh, the washing machine is going. So things like that's the first thing I started to notice, just almost an inventory of noises and sounds in my environment that I was not paying attention to previously.
Yes, thank you. Theodora.
Yes, that was the longest 1 minute of my life.
5 minutes was 5.
No, it was the longest 1 minute of my life and the best 4 minutes of my day. Because you understand what I mean. Because in the beginning I said, oh gosh, what I'm gonna do for 5 minutes doing nothing. This is impossible. I start laughing. And then I just surrender and I let it go, and I really enjoyed the rest of the 4 minutes.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations. I think most of you actually never had in your life 5 minutes where you did literally nothing. As kids, you were always doing something. As grown-ups, we're always doing something. Even when we're not doing something, we're probably meditating. But here you were doing nothing. This is just pure being. You just had 5 minutes of pure being on planet Earth, not doing. Okay, so what happened? Yes, Christiana, what did you notice? You're on mute. We still can't hear you. Probably something with a mic. No, still not working.
If you want, type it in the chat box.
You can type in the chat box, or you can try to reconnect and maybe use the headphones if you have one. Okay, Pascal.
Yes, good evening. Usually I have this 5 minutes before I go to sleep. So by the end of the day, I have this 5 minutes of silence. So I can make the emptiness and go directly to sleep.
Yes. Yes, that's a very good practice. Okay, who had new? Yes.
We have comments in the chat that was a very long 5 minutes. That seems long. He did it like I died and got born again. It was wonderful. Started to notice my own breathing and took deeper breath. And we have
yes.
Just raise her.
Yes, Zainab, please.
First, my body is okay and I feel comfortable. And my emotions okay. But I realized that my mind didn't stop, and I catch myself observing the others, and she's doing that, he's doing that kind of things. And this makes me think about my presence in coaching. I observe that in my coaching session. What will happen in silence?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Please raise your hand if you had a lot of thoughts during these 5 minutes. Can you raise your hand? You can also do it like, where are reactions? Okay, yes, people hands. Yes. So Josh says, I agree with Zainab, the mind doesn't stop. Yes, yes, dear coaches, dear colleagues. The thing is that the mind doesn't stop. And that's the biggest problem for people, for the mankind. And it's been known for thousands of years. You know, the ancient yogis knew about it thousands of years ago. The Buddha knew it 2,600 years ago, that our mind is like a monkey. Our monkey mind, you know, our mind is always rushing, is always thinking. Our mind is always trying to grab things, grab stuff. Okay, what do I do? What do I do? So our mind is not still. I bet there was no one here who actually was absolutely peaceful and quiet in these 5 minutes and didn't have a single thought or a single emotion. If there were people like that, yeah, that's an amazing achievement. So, but also it's important to be not to become sleepy. You know, the mind needs to be very aware. It's not about falling asleep. The mind can be very sharp, but it can also be still. And this thing can only be practiced. It's like a gym. You practice that. So, okay, let me go further. Okay, so there is a metaphor which I really like. And I think it comes from Indian philosophy or from Buddhism. I don't remember where I heard it first. So, but it says that can a restless mind, can a restless water reflect the moon? So if there's a moon and there is a pool, a pond, if the water is not still, if there are waves, the image is distorted. You see it here. The moon up in the sky looks like the moon, but in the water down there, the image is different. So this is what happens in the coaching session when the mind of a coach is not still, when the coach is not present. The coach does not see clearly. The coach looks at the client and sees this distorted image because there are other thoughts, because there are our experience, because there's other our emotions, because there's other stories, because there are some tools and techniques and whatever. So if our mind is not still in the moment of a coaching session, we can't get the clear picture, the real picture. So competence 5, again, maintains presence, manages one's emotion to stay present with the client, demonstrates confidence in working with strong client emotions during the coaching process. So how do we actually maintain presence? And here, I don't remember, it was yesterday, I think, in LinkedIn, I had a very nice banner. I've seen a very nice banner by Harry Vaynerchuk. You know Harry Vaynerchuk. So, and I decided to put it here. You know, Start with yourself, because you can't help anybody if you're not good. So this is very, very true about coaches. This is very true about coaches. How can you help your clients to become mindful and aware if you're not mindful and aware? You can't bring anybody higher than yourself. So that's why coaches who don't have their own coach are professionally not good. That's why coaches who don't do mindfulness practices, who don't meditate, are not effective. Coaches who are not obsessed by clearing their mind, making their mind still, ultimately will not become great coaches. You know, they might become really skillful coaches, yes. But in order to become great coaches, you need to work on your own mind. You need to make sure you know how this thing works and how you clear it, how you make it clean, how you make it silent. So, and it very much correlates to competence 3 here, embodies a coaching mindset. So ICF gives us clues. How do we do that? And it says you can only develop coaching presence, and you can help your clients only if you engage in ongoing learning and development as a coach. Develops an ongoing reflective practice to enhance one's coaching. Ongoing reflective practice. This is a requirement by ICF. This is not something good to have. This is part of our job as coaches. Remains aware of and open to the influence of context and culture on self and others. Uses awareness of self and one's intuition to benefit clients. It's only when we know ourselves, you know this, know thyself, the old Greek saying. It's only when we know ourselves and we are taking responsibility of our mind and emotions, we connect to our inner core, to our heart, to our stomach, to our intuition. Only then we can help our clients. But the good news is that it comes automatically. You don't have to drag it. You just have to do the practices. Develops and maintains ability to regulate one's emotions. Okay, again, this is something about what meditation does, what mindfulness practices do for coaches. And finally, mentally and emotionally prepares for sessions. So it just means that the thing that I started with, a lot depends on your state, in which state you are. The quality of your coaching session, the quality of the results that your client will get depends on you. You yourself are a tool, an instrument. If you're not right, then it's not going to work. There are a lot of coaches who are overworked or not sleeping enough. A lot of coaches who are burned out. A lot of coaches who are desperate because they're not earning enough money or because they don't know where they're going. A lot of coaches are in a very poor shape. Let's be very honest. And we're trying to help others. We're trying to help other clients, you know? So start with yourself. And yes, we need to mentally and emotionally prepare for sessions. We need to be mentally and emotionally stable. So what I realized actually that when I was preparing for MCC, and it took me several years, and I didn't pass my both sessions that I submitted first. They were not, sorry, ICF did not accept them, so I didn't pass. So, and my mentor, Tatiana Hitrovskaya, an MCC coach, I remember one thing she told me, which I think I didn't understand that, but I understand now, that MCC is not a credential, it's a philosophy of life. It's a way of living and perceiving reality. So it's a certain stage that you need to reach as a person, as a human being. It's a state of living, state of being. So simply 2,500 hours of practice will not bring you to MCC. I'm sorry to say that. This is probably not good news. But good news is that you just must practice mindfulness practices. That's it. And that will help you. That will help you tremendously. So good news, you can absolutely train this skill. Everybody, anyone can become mindful. Any person can take emotions, thoughts, and physical state under control. So, and the Buddha said that any person can become enlightened, anyone on this planet Earth, just if you put enough effort. And this is good news. And this is bad news. The bad news that you can only develop this skill through intensive training. You can't develop this skill through attending this webinar and getting 1.5 CC points. It doesn't work like that. So together with coaching practice, make sure to get 2,500 hours of meditation. And I didn't ask you that. So can you put in the chat, please, if you meditate or not, yes or no? And if you put yes, can you write down how many minutes per day? That will be very interesting to see. 10, 15, around 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Multiple times, 30 minutes a day. There are not many no's. Yeah, just the people who don't meditate, they're not putting a no. Yes, thank you for honesty, Tatiana. We're not here to judge anybody so I'm here to share my experience. So my experience is that, and I think I'm lucky because 7 years ago, almost immediately after starting my coaching practice, and I was an overworked, burnt out lawyer, was really unhappy in life. So, and I quit my corporate career. I started my own practice. I moved to a different country. So I'm living in Cyprus now for the last 6 years. So, immediately after starting my coaching practice, I started meditating. And I think this is actually what helped me a lot to develop through these years. So I do it every day, 30 to 40 minutes. Sometimes I do 1 hour if I can, but it's rare. 30 to 45 minutes in the mornings. And I can tell you that the days when some days is when I'm traveling or when I can't do it. So these days I can really feel that the quality of my practice, the quality of working with clients is not so good, you know. So this is, if we look at this metaphor, is you first need to make this pond, this pool still. This is our work. This is our job as coaches in the morning, to still our mind so that we're able to work with clients throughout the day. If you can meditate before the session or after the session. I know that that's hard, but maybe just 5 minutes. So we'll do a short exercise, and then we'll leave time for questions if you have more questions. So tools for meditation. So types of meditations. I've been doing over these years, I've done a lot of different meditations. I've been to many schools, I've talked to many masters. So meditation basically is just observation. So you just learn to observe things, that's it. And you can really observe different things. So, well, the most common meditation that a lot of you know is breath. You know, I just came from the Vipassana retreat. It's a silent Buddhist meditation retreat where we just were focusing on breath for 4 days. No speaking, no phones, no watches, nothing. So it's just meditating. We were focusing on breath. It's classic. Breath is always with us. So I know that a lot of you practice meditations that are so-called guided meditations, right? So you listen to something, and so it's okay to practice that, but masters say that, the teachers say that it's better to gradually to switch to just observing breath. Because what happens if your battery is down and you can't charge it, and you can't have a guided meditation? You know, does it mean you can't meditate? So learn to meditate without any aid. So we can meditate on emotions. When we are stable enough, we can examine our emotions. We can examine our thoughts. We can, there's a walking meditation as well, so that we also did. And I urge you to start doing that. You can do it even, you can meditate even when you're moving somewhere. Walking meditation is very simple. You just focus on your feet, and you feel how your feet are making the steps, you know, how your feet is lifting up, then your feet is moving, and then it's going down, and then it touches the surface, and then there's another foot, and so on. And so you can just learn to focus, to keep your mind on your feet. So you can use your body as an instrument for meditation. So eating, you can even meditate while eating. And this is also a practice that we had on this retreat. We didn't speak for all these days, and it's a very interesting feeling. And please put a plus in the chat if you had this silent meals with people. You know, it's a very strange feeling, because usually you socialize, you just discuss things, but here people are sitting still and you focus on eating. You know, just focus on how food tastes, how it looks, how it smells, what are the feeling inside your mouth, how you swallow it, how you chew it. It's priceless, you know, because we are usually eating in a rush, in a hurry. So practice meditation while eating. You can watch things, you can observe things. You can, and I really like these things. You can take any object, you can take a cup, and you can observe the cup for 5 minutes. Looking at all the shades, looking at all the shapes, looking at the color, looking at just, it's a very interesting thing. Maybe you will even start to draw, you know, because when I started meditating and on different objects, I really want to draw some of them, you know. So that's drawing is actually meditation. So because when you're drawing, you're very much focused, you're very much in the process. Listening, you can listen to birds, you can listen to sounds, you can listen even to your washing machine, you can listen to the vacuum cleaner, you can listen to anything. There was once masterclass on meditation during Tim Golvy's. You might know Tim Golvy, the inner game of tennis, and he's still active. He's doing classes, and it was a coaching conference, and there was a class on meditation there. And one of the musicians, he said, there is an interesting meditation. You can listen to your favorite song, and you can focus only on some instruments, like only drums, through the whole song, or only bass guitar, or only, I don't know, piano, whatever. So by doing this, we actually train this frontal cortex. So the frontal parts of our brain, which are responsible for focusing. As soon as we train it, and it can be trained within several weeks of meditation. There is research, scientific research proving it, showing it. So once you develop this part of the brain, once you learn to focus and being very much focused, very much present in the moment without all this rushing of thoughts, then it will increase your coaching practice and lift it to a different level. Please believe me, because it works. It's not something that I invented. It was invented thousands and thousands of years ago, and now we are using it. We can use it in coaching. And so finally, there is a very simple exercise which you all can do. And this is an exercise which I very often give my clients when I'm introducing them to meditation. So you want to do it, or you want to listen about it? It will take probably 3 minutes.
Okay, because we need to stick to because some people need to leave within 1 hour, and already we passed it.
No, it was an hour and a half, Pauline.
Everybody is okay, then let's do it, and then we leave 10 minutes for questions and answers.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
If you have to, if you need to go, you have to go. Please go. It's okay. So, but it was an hour and a half. Okay. So it's very simple, and you can all close your eyes, and you can switch off the cameras if you want. What you need to do is you need to count down from 100 to 0, counting your inhales and exhales. So, for example, 100, inhale, 99, exhale, 98, inhale, 97, exhale. Okay? So let's do that. And once you're done, you can turn on your camera back and or put something in the chat. We'll know that you are back. Okay, last 10 seconds. Please write in the chat how do you feel? So what was happening? How do you feel now? Yogesh, done, very relaxing. Yes. Actually, I first met this practice at was mentioned by Carlos Castaneda, but he was just writing about count down from 100 to 1. So I just added breaths here, and it works really well. So as you see, it really keeps us focused, and it brings you directly to alpha state of your brain, because we're usually in beta waves, which is our brain is very tired usually during the day. So this practice immediately brings you to alpha, so you relax. So, and it also trains you. Was not enough time for me, Tatiana. Yes, sorry about that. It actually, you can do it now yourself with your own pace. Yes, it's probably a little bit rushed, but the idea is to give you this tool so that you can practice yourself. Please practice. It just takes 2-3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. So, but it's very powerful.
Some people said it's thank you, peace and relax, calmer, lighter, felt rushed, now catching my breath, relaxed. I like this. It was challenging. I lost count, was not enough. I didn't get to 0 either, but again, I lost count somewhere. But it helps me focus. Very good experience. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you. There is a variation of it which is called 10. It's when you're counting from 1 to 10, and then you start all over again from 1 to 10. So you might try it as well. So it's a classic one. It's mentioned by Andy Petticombe in his book Mindfulness, and Andy Petticombe is he's the founder of Headspace. You've heard of Headspace. It's one of the main meditation apps now on the web. Okay, so that's all from my side. So and yeah, so the classic coaching question: what are your takeaways today? So what are you taking with you? I would be very grateful if you share.
You can raise your hand and unmute yourself directly.
Yes, please.
I liked the part about creating space, not filling it. And I think part of what will give me more of a ability to do that more consistently is like my warm up, my pre-game show for coaching. So I'm taking away this practice of the breathing and the counting down from 100. I think that'll be a great thing to incorporate. I've always done my own at least 5 minutes of just my own silent reflection before I coach. But I am going to challenge myself to do it like a little bit more, just kind of trying to get to that still water state. So I really liked that aspect, that the metaphors today and the creating space, not filling it.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Thank you for your thoughts and reflections today. Thanks. Zeynep.
I find it so nice surfing one competency to another one and see how they all related to each other. It was so good. Thank you very much for this. And I decide to use this counting 100 to 1 thing with my clients, because I didn't feel the same thing like the other colleagues. I feel I see myself that I hesitate to make it to how can I say that to say the wrong number. Yeah, and this shows us how we react if we do something wrong, and this will be a good tool for our clients to watch themselves. So I take it as a tool.
Yes, absolutely. There shouldn't be any bad feelings about not counting right or be. So just observe, have fun. This is just this is not about doing it right. This is about observing what's going on in our mind. It's yes. Thank you, Zeynep.
Maybe I repeat it. I will be more compassionate to myself also.
Oh, we all need to be compassionate to ourselves. Yes, that's true. Okay, Pascal.
Yes, throughout the session, it was interesting to have another meaning of grounding yourself before the session. So I call it mindfulness and grounding instead of meditation. The breathing, the emotional checkup, and the positive attitude before each session. When you prepare yourself in silence to accept all what the client is bringing you to the table without having your own filters and your own judgment. So this is very important in our work, but sometimes it's not meditation for me, because meditation means for me that I need to relax and to be on another level, not to be with my clients. So it's a difference of definitions. Thank you for this interesting session.
Thank you. Thank you, Pascal. Yogesh.
First, thank you. I just added one more tool to my meditation, which is the reverse counting. That was great. What I loved about the session was, I think the way you explained, if you focus on mindfulness, actually you don't have to worry about the competencies. All competencies get covered the moment you really focus on the core mindfulness. And that's really just amazing. Time permitting, I would have liked to add a comment, but I'll let others speak first because I think we are running out of time.
Thank you. Thank you, Yogesh. Linda?
Yeah, this was a really excellent session. Thank you. And it got me reflecting on this idea of coaching, and there's the other person and there's myself, the coachee and the coach. And somewhere we meet in this space in the middle, in like this field when we're in a coaching session, and it's like all of potential is there. This is where the mystery of life is, when we're actually really meeting and being present to that space that's between me and the coachee. And I'm just really reminded that by emptying myself as this vessel with as much presence and as I can to that person, there's so much potential that's available in there. And this really reminded me, like I love that what you shared about your mentor coach. It's not a credential, it's a philosophy. It's a way of life. It's how we be in the world. So this has just been really, I feel myself just teeming with just that idea of presence. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Yes, Robert Dilts. I was also one of the courses that I took was generative coaching by Robert Dilts and Stephen Gilligan. And so Robert Dilts calls this generative field. So it's actually a space that you create between you and client, where things start to happen, where ideas start to come. It starts to generate ideas. So that's why it's called generative coaching, So, and we as coaches, we're responsible for this space, yes. And we can use ourselves as a tool So we are the entrance door to this space. Through our state, through our mindful state, the client enters into this space, generative field. So be very, very attentive to yourselves, to how you feel. So take good care of yourselves, because you are an instrument, you are a tool through which the other people develop. They get their insights, they get their breakthroughs, they got all of this through you.
And we have some feedback in the chat as well.
Yes, valuable, insightful session. Take with me the idea of spending at least 15 minutes a day in silence. Yes, Xenia, this is always, we all need it. So Tatiana, I'm taking a metaphor about still waters, another reminder of the importance of meditation. Silence sometimes can be helpful for the client, definitely. Provide the space for the client. It's helpful for calm down and relax. Cycle session, it's past midnight where I am, but totally engaged and happy to be here. All right, yes, thank you, Priscilla, for your commitment. Okay, so I just want to share the last slide, which is basically the contact details. So if you, I urge you to connect on LinkedIn, so you can, here's a QR code which will lead you to LinkedIn, and it's Yury Zachek. I'm the only person on planet Earth with name and surname like that, as far as I know, so it's easy to find me. So please connect on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to have you as a connection there. And yeah, so that's it from my side. Pauline, any final words from you?
Yes, there is a question how to get to know about future events of Cyprus ICF chapter. Definitely follow our social media handles at Cyprus ICF chapter Cyprus. And also we will be posting them on the global when we have the webinars. So we have upcoming webinars in September and October and November. So we will post them there. And Christina just shared the LinkedIn of ICF Cyprus chapter. You can follow it, and then you can have all the details about our upcoming webinars. And I would like to thank you personally for attending, and the people who are here till the end, congratulate yourself, because you just earned 1.5 CCEs and the certificates will be emailed to you by next week, and a small as well a short feedback form, because we would like to hear from you as well. Okay, so thank you. And
Pauline, did I earn one? Did I?
Yes.
Am I going to get my certificate?
When you attend the second.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
And thank you very much.
Thank you all for your commitment.
Thank
Have
you.
a great evening or morning or day. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Have a nice evening.